realized that was 1 minute before it started.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Travel Talk Tuesday. I'm so glad you joined us. Today is going to be a little bit different. Most of our travel talks are about discovering a destination, exploring an itinerary, or planning an exciting adventure. Today, I'd like to invite you to slow down a little. For the next half hour, imagine setting aside the endless emails, the notifications, the meetings, the errands, and everything else that's competing for your attention. Instead, picture yourself walking barefoot along a quiet stretch of white sand, the sounds of the Caribbean gently rolling onto the shore, a breeze, warm, moving through the palms, the jungle alive around you. For just a little while, there's nowhere you need to be except right here. That's the feeling that Palmaïa is going to create. This isn't simply another luxury, all-inclusive resort. It's a place created with the intention of helping you reconnect with yourself, with nature, with the simple joy of being present. Whether that means managing your morning with yoga overlooking the ocean, enjoying an incredible meal prepared with fresh, nourishing ingredients, relaxing in your own private swim-up suite, or simply quietly listening to the waves. Palmaïa encourages you to experience travel in a different way. Over the next little while, I'll take you through what makes this remarkable resort so unique. We'll explore the beautiful accommodations, the incredible dining, the wellness experiences, and the philosophy that has made Palmaïa one of the most talked about luxury resorts in Mexico. Whether you're looking for a romantic escape, a wellness retreat, a solo journey to recharge, or simply a vacation that leaves you feeling better than when you arrived, I think you'll discover there's something very special about this place. So settle in, take a deep breath, and let's journey together to the shores of Mexico's Riviera Maya. When people first look at Palmaïa, they often think it's just another beautiful luxury resort in Mexico. It certainly is beautiful, but that's not what makes it special. Palmaïa was created around a completely different philosophy. Rather than asking, how can we entertain our guests? They ask, how can we help people feel better? Every decision at the resort supports that idea. It's surrounded by nature, with the jungle and Caribbean becoming part of the experience rather than something viewed from a balcony. Wellness isn't something you schedule for an hour. It's woven into each day through movement, mindfulness, relaxation, and meaningful experiences. Even the food is part of that philosophy. It's fresh, creative, and designed to nourish you while still being absolutely delicious. Ultimately, the goal isn't simply for you to have a wonderful vacation. It's for you to return home feeling calmer, healthier, more inspired, and more connected than you were when you arrived. That's what makes Palmaïa so different, and everything we're about to explore is built around those four principles. One of the things I love about Palmaïa is that it feels completely removed from the hustle of everyday life, yet it's surprisingly easy to reach. We have exceptional packages available from a Canadian supplier that includes flights and transfers. You'll fly into Cancun International Airport, and from there it's about a 45 to 50-minute private transfer to the resort. As you leave Cancun behind, the scenery gradually changes. The city gives way to lush tropical jungle, and before long you arrive at Palmaïa, tucked between the jungle and the turquoise waters of the Caribbean. The resort sits just south of Playa del Carmen, so while you feel wonderfully secluded, you're still close enough if you ever want to explore Fifth Avenue, visit nearby cenotes, or take a day excursion. January is one of the best times to visit. While we'll bundle it up for the winter in winter coats at home, you'll be enjoying daytime temperatures around 82 degrees with warm sunshine, comfortable evenings, and very little rain. It's the ideal weather for morning yoga on the beach, afternoons by the pool, or dinner overlooking the ocean. One of the things I really appreciate about Palmaïa is its size. The resort is just 234 suites, which I think is a perfect balance. It's large enough to have multiple restaurants, beautiful pools, a wellness program, and all of the amenities you'd expect from a luxury resort, yet it's still intimate enough to feel peaceful and uncrowded. You'll never get the feeling that you're staying in a massive resort where you're simply one guest among thousands. The suites themselves continue that same philosophy. Rather than being overly extravagant or flashy, they're warm, elegant, and incredibly calming. Natural wood, soft colors, beautiful textiles, and floor-to-ceiling windows create spaces that immediately help you relax. I love how they blur the line between indoors and outdoors. Whether you're looking out over the Caribbean or stepping onto your own terrace, you're constantly connected with nature. Every suite is designed to feel like a private sanctuary. It's somewhere you'll genuinely look forward to returning to after a day at the beach, a wellness class, or dinner. One of my favorite options is the swim-up suites. Imagine opening your patio door in the morning and stepping directly into a tranquil pool that winds its way through the resort. There's something wonderfully luxurious about starting your day with a quiet swim before breakfast. If you prefer elevated views, the upper level suites offer beautiful vistas across the resort and out toward the Caribbean, giving you the perfect place to enjoy a morning coffee or simply listen to the waves. Whether you choose a swim-up suite or one with an ocean view, every room has been thoughtfully designed to be more than just a place to sleep. It's part of the overall experience of slowing down, unwinding, and reconnecting with yourself. Now we've seen the beautiful suites, but this is really where Palmaïa starts to separate itself from other luxury resorts. Almost every resort has a spa. Almost every resort offers yoga. Most have a healthy menu options these days. Palmaïa didn't want wellness to be something you booked for an hour between breakfast and the beach. Instead, they built the resort around what they call the four pathways of AïA wellness. It's really a different way of thinking about a vacation. Rather than simply coming home with a tan and a few great photos, the idea is that you leave feeling genuinely rested, not just physically, but mentally as well. And I think that's something a lot of us could probably use these days. Everything you do here naturally fits into one of these four pathways. It's not something you have to sign up for or commit to. You simply choose what appeals to you. Maybe one day that's an incredible meal made with fresh ingredients. Maybe it's yoga on the beach at sunrise. Maybe it's a sound healing session you've never tried before. Or maybe it's simply an afternoon at the spa with absolutely nowhere else you need to be. There isn't a right way to experience Palmaïa. The beauty is that you create the retreat for you. So let's have a look at each of these four pathways because together they really are the heart and soul of this resort. The first pathway is called the Nourishing Biome, and I have to admit, I really like how Palmaïa approaches food. They don't look at meals as simply something to fill you between activities. They see food as another part of your well-being. Every menu has been thoughtfully created using fresh, seasonal ingredients that are as nourishing as they are delicious. Now, before anyone starts worrying, no, you don't have to become vegan for a week. While Palmaïa is known for its incredible plant-forward cuisine, you'll also find sustainable source seafood and other options. The focus isn't about restricting what you eat. It's about offering food that's fresh, creative, and makes you feel good. One of the things guests talk about over and over is they leave feeling lighter and more energized. Not because they were dieting, but because they were eating really good food prepared with incredible care. Even if you're someone who enjoys a great steak at home, I think you'll be surprised by how just beautiful and satisfying many of these dishes are. Dining here isn't an afterthought. It's part of the wellness experience. One thing I should mention is that Palmaïa is still a luxury all-inclusive. If you're picturing a health retreat with no alcohol, don't worry. Premium wines, handcrafted cocktails, and spirits are all included. The difference is that they're presented as another part of a balanced, enjoyable experience. You can start your morning with a fresh smoothie, spend the afternoon by the pool with a margarita, and enjoy an incredible meal prepared with wine. Palmaïa isn't about restriction, it's about giving you choices that help you feel your best. And once you're nourished, your body, the next pathway is about movement. Not because you have to exercise, but because movement has a way of helping us reconnect with ourselves. The second pathway is called Portals of Practice, and it's really all about movement, mindfulness, and simply taking a little time for yourself. Now, don't let the name intimidate you. You don't have to be someone who practices yoga every day or knows how to meditate. This isn't about being perfect or pushing yourself. It's simply about reconnecting with your body in a way that feels good. Everyday Palmaïa offers a wonderful selection of classes and experiences. You might begin your morning with yoga overlooking the Caribbean as the sun rises, join a guided meditation, or take part in a breathwork session, or enjoy a gentle movement class surrounded by nature. The beauty is that everything is included, so you're free to try something new without any pressure or expectation. Maybe you'll discover that you love yoga. Maybe you'll realize meditation isn't really your thing, and that's perfectly okay. What I love is that Palmaïa encourages curiosity. It gives you the opportunity to slow down, step outside your usual routine, or simply be present. And if your idea of wellness is taking a quiet walk along the beach with a coffee while everyone else does yoga, that's okay too. There really isn't a wrong way to experience this resort. It's about finding what helps you feel relaxed, balanced, and recharged. Of course, wellness isn't the only thing. It isn't just about how we eat or how we move. Sometimes it's about creating moments of complete calm, and that's where the next pathway starts being and becomes something truly unique. Their third pathway is called Rituals of Sound, and I think it's one of the things that makes Palmaïa very unique. Have any of you ever been into a sound healing session? It's probably not something most of us would think to book at home, but it's exactly what makes a vacation like this such a great opportunity to start something new. These sessions use instruments like crystal singing bowls, gongs, chimes, and gentle vibrations to create an incredibly calming atmosphere. The idea is very simple. Instead of constantly filling our minds with noise, notifications, and to-do lists, you're given the chance to simply lie back, listen, and let yourself completely relax. Some guests say it's deeply meditative. Others say it's the most relaxed they've felt in years. And some simply enjoy the beautiful sounds and peaceful setting. There's no right or wrong way to experience it. What I like is there's no expectation. You don't need any experience, you don't need to understand the science behind it, and you certainly don't need to be an expert in wellness. You simply show up with an open mind and enjoy the experience. And who knows, it might end up being your favorite part of the trip. The pathways bring everything together. After nourishing your body, moving in ways that you feel good, and finding moments of calm through sound, it is simply time to relax and let someone else take care of you. The final pathway is called the restorative temple, and this is Palmaïa's spa, but it's really much more than a spa. We've all been on vacations where we come home saying, I need another vacation to recover from my vacation. There's so much rushing around trying to see and do everything. Palmaïa encourages the opposite. The restorative temple is about slowing down and giving yourself permission to simply relax. Here you'll find beautiful massages, holistic therapies, hydrotherapy experiences, and treatments inspired by both modern wellness and ancient healing traditions. And now I should mention that the spa treatments themselves are an additional cost. They're not included in the all-inclusive package. But what is included is the entire philosophy of wellness that surrounds you throughout the resort. Whether you decide to book a massage or not, you'll still enjoy the yoga classes, meditation sessions, sound healing experiences, nourishing cuisine, and the peaceful atmosphere that makes Palmaïa so special. And if you do choose to indulge in a treatment, I've heard wonderful things about the spa, and many guests say it's one of the highlights of their stay. But even if you don't, I think you'll leave feeling more rested than when you arrived. We spend so much of our lives looking after our families, our work, and everything around us that we rarely stop and look after ourselves. Palmaïa gives you permission to do exactly that, and I think that's a pretty wonderful gift. So now let's talk about one of my favorite subjects, the food. When people hear that Palmaïa focuses on wellness and nourishing cuisine, I think there's sometimes a misconception that you're going to be eating salads for a week, and that couldn't be further from the truth. Palmaïa has 6 unique restaurants, all included in your stay, and each one has its own personality and style. You'll find everything from Mexican flavors and Mediterranean cuisine to Asian-inspired dishes, fresh seafood, wood-fired pizzas, and beautifully prepared breakfasts. The chefs focus on fresh, high-quality ingredients, and many of the dishes are plant-forward, but that doesn't mean they're lacking in flavor. Quite the opposite. The food here is creative, colorful, and beautifully presented. If you follow a vegan, vegetarian, or gluten-free diet, you'll be incredibly well looked after. But if you don't, you'll still find plenty to enjoy. One of the things I really appreciate is that there's no reservations required at most of the restaurants, so you can simply decide what you're in the mood for each evening. And because this is luxury all-inclusive, your meals, premium beverages, handcrafted cocktails, wines, smoothies, coffees are all included. I think that's another reason guests rave about Palmaïa. They don't feel like they're sacrificing indulgence. They're simply discovering that healthy, fresh food can also be absolutely delicious. Before we finish, I wanted to share a few of the recognitions Palmaïa has received. Awards are always nice, but I don't choose a resort simply because it has a trophy on the wall. What interests me is who is recognizing it. Palmaïa has been recognized by Condé Nast Traveler, the Michelin Guide, the World Travel Awards, and as their TripAdvisor's Traveler's Choice Best of the Best Award. Those are all organizations with very high standards, and they're based on either expert evaluations or consistently exceptional guest experiences. What I also love is that Palmaïa is a Virtuoso preferred resort. As many of you know, the Women's Travel Club is a Virtuoso agency, so we work with a carefully selected collection of hotels and resorts around the world. Being part of Virtuoso isn't something every luxury resort achieves. It's a reflection of outstanding service, quality, and the overall guest experience. But if I'm honest, after learning about Palmaïa, the awards almost become secondary. What impresses me most is that they've stayed true to their vision. Every part of the resort, from the accommodations and dining to the wellness experiences and service, supports the same philosophy. I think that's why so many guests leave saying they didn't just have a wonderful vacation. They came home feeling rested, recharged, and already thinking about when they'll come back. So let's talk about pricing. These rates are based on travel from January 12th to the 19th, and they include the round trip flights from Toronto, airport transfers, 7 nights at Palmaïa, all your meals, premium bread, beverages, and all the included wellness experience that we've talked about. If you're traveling with a friend and would like a room with 2 queen beds, the current rate is 41.05 Canadian per person based on double occupancy. That works out to about 2,900 USD for our American friends. If you're traveling on your own and would prefer a king suite, the current single occupancy rate is 57.85 Canadian, which is about 4,100 USD for US friends. This is a special promotion through a Canadian supplier. We can get resort-only rates for members from the US if they don't want to fly to Canada and then back down to the Caribbean. I get that. But unfortunately, the rates will be higher just because of this is a Canadian promotion. We can get pricing from other Canadian gateways. So if you're looking to come from Vancouver, Calgary, or another Canadian gateway, we can get pricing for you from there. Also, durations. If you want to spend longer, we can get different durations or upgraded suites. I'd like to remind everybody that these are today's rates. They can be affected by airfare changes and other promotions that can come and go. So these are the current rates that we have right now. And the availability can change, especially for January because it is prime season. So if Palmaïa is speaking to you today, I'd encourage you not to wait too long before reaching out. You can give us a call, send us a message. Our phone number, we do have a toll-free number, 1-844-749-0725. Or of course, you can jump on our website and book from there. We're also here. If you have any questions, you can let us know. Brittany was on the chat. Do you have any questions? You can raise your hand if you have any questions. Okay, doesn't look like there's any questions. Well, thank you everybody for joining us this afternoon and learning a little bit about the Palmaïa Resort in Mexico. I hope some of you would love to join us this January, get out of the cold and get down to have a nice, relaxing, regenerative time. If you do think of any questions, please reach out, either email or call us, and we'd be glad to answer them for you. So thank you so much and hope you enjoyed it.